We don't want to see your face at her graduation. My mom said it like she was reading from a script. No hesitation. No flinch. Just a clean, direct slap across a glowing Zoom screen. I sat there, stunned, watching her little square of suburban calm like I'd misheard something. But I hadn't. Because everyone else, Chloe, my dad, the two aunts who accidentally left their microphones on, they all just sat there. No one pushed back. No one even blinked. And Chloe? She didn't speak at all. Didn't have to. She just smirked, all perfect brows and glossy hair, like the villain in a Netflix show that thinks she's the hero. I took a slow breath. Clicked my mic off mute. That's it. You're cutting me out after everything? My mom folded her arms like I was the problem. Like I'd shown up late to a party I wasn't invited to and demanded cake. Don't start, Alex. This isn't about you. It's her day. Don't make it weird. Right. Her day. You know what else was hers? The tuition I paid. The food deliveries I covered when she was too stressed to cook. The rent I paid for that $2,100 a month apartment that she insisted was essential to her mental health because her dorm didn't get enough natural light. Oh, and the 3 new laptops. Yes, 3 because she kept accidentally cracking the hinges. Not to mention the private SAT tutor before she even got to college. The psychology conference tickets. The sudden need for therapy apps, ergonomic desk chairs, and emergency funds that somehow always got Venmo'd to someone named Sasha. None of that was weird. None of that was too much. But me showing up to clap at the end of it all? That would have made a scene. So I did what they didn't expect. I smiled. Opened a new tab. Logged into the 529 account. Disabled autopay on the final semester's tuition, due in 3 days. Clicked cancel. Then I scrolled through my phone. Found the Amex. Locked the card. Chloe's Uber Eats? Gone. Her Amazon Prime student? Done. That Spotify family plan she was still leeching off of? Goodbye. I clicked back to Zoom. Said it plainly. If that's how it is, congratulations. You're free. No more tension. No more face. No more money. I left the call mid-sentence. My phone started buzzing 30 seconds later. Alex, please be reasonable. Don't make a scene. This is her moment. Don't ruin it because of some petty jealousy. That one was from Chloe. She really thinks this is about jealousy. Not years of being her silent benefactor while she treated me like her accountant/ATM. Not months of forgotten thank yous and casual ghosting until she needed something. I turned off my phone, stood in my kitchen, and for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, I felt calm. Because it wasn't about revenge. It was about finally hearing the truth they'd been trying to tell me for years. They didn't want me around. They just wanted what I gave. The next morning, I woke up to silence. Not the peaceful kind, the loaded kind. My phone had 14 missed calls. Half were from my mother. The rest were from numbers I didn't recognize, but had area codes that screamed family. I didn't answer a single one. Instead, I poured coffee and sat down with my laptop, not to doomscroll or distract myself, but to open my banking dashboard and look at something I'd ignored for far too long. Chloe's spending. See, when she first got into college, I told her to use the shared credit card for emergencies. She promised to be careful. She said things like, I'll only use it for groceries and textbooks. And like a fool, I believed her. I clicked into the transaction history. First page. $64.99, DoorDash. $180, Urban Outfitters. $22.49, Hulu Premium, not even the student discount. I kept scrolling. The charges got worse. A $900 charge to a wellness retreat 2 months ago. Another $300 for exam crystals and study bundles. And a recurring $75 charge to a stylist booking app because apparently she was getting her hair done monthly to manage academic stress. Oh, and a $400 Venmo transfer labeled Sasha Rent Split smiling face with hearts. Right. The Sasha who lives in the same mental health apartment that my money was supposed to cover. I felt my jaw tighten. This wasn't mismanagement. This wasn't a broke college kid learning the ropes. This was a scam. A lifestyle she'd built off of being the struggling little sister with the overachiever sob story. And I'd been the soft-hearted idiot bankrolling it all. The worst part? My mom knew. I checked the email associated with the card. She'd been copied on balance updates. She'd been forwarded charge alerts. She saw all of it. And she never said a word. Not once. Because it was easier to let me play the role of the responsible older brother, the one who always had it together, while Chloe coasted on victim points and Instagram captions about surviving, not thriving. I didn't rage. Didn't punch a wall. Didn't fire off a dramatic group text. Instead, I started logging in. Bank accounts. Subscriptions. Streaming services. I revoked access, changed passwords, shut things down piece by piece, like pulling the plug on a power grid. I even emailed the landlord of the apartment, the one in my name, and gave 30 days notice. Told them the lease would not be renewed, that Chloe had no legal standing. She'd be on her own. If she wanted to live like an adult, she could start acting like one. That night, I got a final text from her. Well, so this is who you are? Petty, controlling, broken spirit. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. I didn't answer. Because when someone shows you who they are, not once, but consistently, and in transactions with emoji notes, you don't argue. You log off. It started with a message from my Uncle Ray, who hasn't texted me in 5 years but somehow found time now. Alex, you really need to grow up. This drama is embarrassing for everyone. Right. Embarrassing. Not for Chloe, who faked half a mental health crisis to live rent-free, but for me, for daring to pull the plug. Then came Aunt Denise. Your sister's about to graduate from college. This is supposed to be a proud moment. And you're making it about revenge. Revenge. That's what they all called it. Because in their eyes, my support was never generosity. It was an obligation. They weren't mad that Chloe used me. They were mad I stopped letting her. By noon, the texts had turned strategic. Chloe posted a vague story on Instagram. Some people only love you when you're useful. You deserve better than guilt wrapped in money. It had 42 likes in 20 minutes. 4 of them were family. Then my dad finally reached out. Just one line. Don't let your pride ruin your relationship with your sister. Pride? This from the man who hasn't attended a single one of my work promotions, who can't name the company I co-own, but showed up 3 times to help Chloe move apartments because she looked overwhelmed. The hypocrisy would have been funny if it didn't sting so much. That night, Mom called. I answered. Not to talk, but to listen. She started softly. I just don't understand what's going on. Chloe's been crying for days. I didn't say anything. Hey guys, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you have any feedback. Let's go to the story. You know how fragile she is. You were always the strong one. Can't you be the bigger person? Just this once. The bigger person. Because that's who I'd always been, right? The quiet one. The problem solver. The guy who could afford to help without asking for anything in return. I asked her one question. When was the last time Chloe paid for something without sending me the receipt? Silence. Then she got sharp. You think money fixes everything? You think you're better than the rest of us because you got out and got fancy with your tech job. There it was. The truth underneath the guilt, the resentment. I wasn't just at the bank. I was the reminder that they'd never left that town, that house, that mindset. And Chloe? She was the golden ticket. The dream everyone funneled their hopes into. If she made it, they made it. If I showed up, I reminded everyone what real success looked like, and they couldn't stand the comparison. I said, this isn't about pride. It's about finally being done. She hung up without saying goodbye. I stared at the screen for a while. Then I smiled. Because of that silence? It didn't feel like punishment anymore. It felt like peace. Graduation came and went. They didn't need me there, and I didn't need to pretend anymore. Photos went up before the ceremony even ended. Chloe posing on campus steps, arms around Mom, capped and robed like the image of perseverance. The caption read, "We made it. Just us." That phrase stuck. It was deliberate. Every word of it. I stared at the post for a moment, then locked my screen. There wasn't bitterness, just clarity. She'd cut me out publicly, and now she was rewriting the story to match. But the thing about fairy tales built on fake tears and borrowed money? They don't hold up under real light. 2 days later, someone proved that. Aaron, my cousin, quiet, sharp, and always 2 steps outside the family mess, messaged me. We hadn't spoken in years. Hey, I saw the post. And I saw what you did. Just wanted to say, it was overdue. She's been playing everyone. I asked her what she meant. She sent screenshots, group chats, DMs, payment requests. Chloe wasn't just siphoning money from me. She'd been playing that same role with half the family. To one cousin, she said she couldn't afford books and got a $100 gift card. To a mutual friend, she claimed she needed help covering therapy. 3 people paid. She even crowdfunded rent during a semester where I'd already paid her lease in full. It wasn't just manipulation. It was a lifestyle. She knew how to word things so people wouldn't question her. Knew how to press emotional buttons that made her look fragile, overworked, just trying to get through. Aaron had tried to call her out, privately, respectfully. Chloe blocked her within a day. Your mom knew too, Aaron said. She's been covering for her. Everyone has. They figured you'd just keep eating it. That landed harder than any of Chloe's insults ever did, because it meant the problem wasn't just her. It was the entire system around her, The people who saw what she was doing and decided the convenience of silence was worth more than my trust. They weren't mad because I abandoned Chloe. They were mad because I stopped playing along. I didn't respond to Aaron right away. Didn't need to. That night, I sat on my balcony with a beer and no phone. The graduation might have looked perfect online, but the cracks were forming behind the filter. And when people like Chloe start running out of free passes, they don't crumble all at once. They erode, one excuse at a time. It came at 6:42 a.m. A text from my dad. No punctuation. Just, can we talk? Not let's talk. Not you owe her an apology. Just the question. I didn't reply right away. Not because I didn't want to, but because I wasn't sure what kind of version of him would be waiting on the other end. When I finally called later that night, his voice was steady, but tired. Not tired like, I've had a long day. Tired like someone who just realized the foundation he built everything on was starting to crack. He asked how I was. I said I was fine. Then I waited. No point filling the silence. If he had something to say, I wasn't going to help him say it. Finally, he spoke. Your mom's not handling this well. Not a surprise. That woman treated discomfort like poison. Any shift in the family illusion made her defensive, then aggressive, then impossible. But then he added, I'm not saying you were wrong. I just didn't think you'd actually pull out. That part made me pause. He wasn't shocked that Chloe had lied. He was shocked I had finally done something about it. He went on slowly, like every sentence was a challenge. You were always the one we didn't have to worry about. The quiet one. Handled your business. Paid your bills. Never asked for anything. I stayed quiet. And Chloe? Well, you know how she is. I did. So did he. But they let her spin anyway. Because spinning was easier than confronting. And every time she fumbled, someone, me, him, Mom, picked up the pieces. He sighed. Maybe we made it too easy for her. Maybe we made it too easy for everyone. That was the closest thing to an admission I'd ever get from him. Not an apology, not ownership, but an acknowledgement that something wasn't right and hadn't been for a long time. I told him I appreciated the honesty. He asked if I'd reconsider, not the money, but the silence. Could we not drag this through the whole family? Your mom's already rewriting half of it. That made me laugh. Because of course she was. The woman could have worked PR for royalty. Crisis control was her favorite form of denial. I told him, I'm not going to make it public, but I'm not fixing it in private, either. He said he understood. Then, just before we hung up, he said something that hit harder than anything Chloe ever said. You were never the problem, but you were always the easiest one to lean on. I'm sorry we treated you like that made you unbreakable. Click. That was it. No dramatic ending. No warm hug of reconciliation. Just a crack in the wall that had stood between us for years. And for once, I didn't feel guilty walking away from it. I felt seen. I haven't spoken to Chloe since the day I shut it all off. Not a word. Not a call. Not a sad attempt at an apology dressed up in faux therapy language and recycled TikTok quotes. I don't expect one either. Because people like her don't say sorry, they pivot, rebrand, find a new story, a new audience, a new resource. And I'm no longer one of them. My mom still hasn't reached out, but she's been busy. Aaron tells me there's a new family version of the story going around. One where I lashed out over money and couldn't handle Chloe's success. I'm the bitter older brother now. The fragile one. The guy who disconnected over jealousy. Let them talk. You don't need to defend your side when you're no longer in the game. The graduation pictures stopped trending after about a week. Life moved on. Hers, theirs, mine. And mine's quieter now. Not lonely, clear. No more unknown charges. No midnight texts for quick cash. No guilt-wrapped obligations hiding behind fake family values. I bought a bike. Started riding in the early mornings. Made a habit of finishing my coffee before it goes cold. I'm not trying to be poetic, just real. Sometimes peace isn't dramatic. It's not fireworks. It's not the end of a chapter with thunder and closure music. Sometimes peace is just the absence of noise. No one is asking for more. No one is rewriting your value based on your usefulness. Just you. Finally breathing. I kept in touch with Erin. Turns out we had more in common than I realized. She's been where I was, the dependable one. The background helps. The one who always seems okay. We had dinner last week. She said something that stuck with me. There's no gold medal for surviving people who never plan to carry you. And that's it, isn't it? I don't need a parade for walking away. I don't need them to clap now that I've finally said no. I just needed to stop proving I was worth keeping. I always was. They just never saw it. And I don't fix what I didn't break anymore.